ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च ये कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्द राधा कान्द नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय ततालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। कृष्ण त्वदीय पद पंकज पंजनान्दम अद्वैव मे विशतु मानस राजहंस प्राण प्रयाण समये कपवात पित्ते कंठावरोधन विदो स्मरणं कुतस्ते। हरे कृष्ण हरि ओम तत्सत। So welcome all the devotees for today's Mukundmala class. We are reading Stotra 46. Pranamamishasya siraphalam vidos tadachanam pranaphalam divaukasam manaphalam tadguna tattva chintanam vachaphalam tadguna kirtanam buddha. Pranamamishasya siraphalam vidos tadarchanam pranaphalam divaukasam manaphalam tadguna tattva chintanam vachaphalam tadguna kirtanam buddha. Hare Krishna, Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, last Tuesday I was not in the class. So
Yes, I had a doubt. It should be 47.
yes, so I was not in the class, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I think it will be
actually, I
47.
also, yeah.
Actually, I marked 46, Prabhuji.
Yeah, and because I saw my last recording, then only it selected 47. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yes, I had a doubt. Okay. Very sorry for that. Okay. So we're reading from Mukundmala Stotra 47. श्रीमन्नाम प्रोच नारायणाख्यं केन प्रापुर्वञ्चितं प्रापिनोऽपि आनपूर्वं वाक् प्रवृत्तन तस्मिंस् तेन प्राप्तं गर्भवसादि दुःखम्। श्रीमन्नाम प्रोच नारायणाख्यं केन प्रापुर्वञ्चितं प्रापिनोऽपि आनपूर्वं वाक् प्रवृत्तन तस्मिंस् तेन प्राप्तं गर्भवसादि दुःखम्। Hare Krishna, Mayuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Shrimatinam procha narayanakyam kena prapuvanchitam papinopi Hana purvavak pravattana tasmins tena praptam garvavasadi dukham.
Tarani Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी पंचांग प्रणाम। श्रीमन्नाम प्रोक्ष्य नारायणाख्यं केन प्रापुर्वाचितं पापिनोऽपि हान पूर्वं वाक् प्रवृत्ता न तस्मिन् तेन प्राप्तं गर्भवासादि दुःखम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी।
Okay. Hare Krishna, Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
श्रीमन्नारायणं नारायणाख्यं केन प्राप्नुर्वाञ्छितं पापिनोऽपि हानापूर्वं न तस्मिन् तेन प्राप्तं गर्भाभाषादिदुःखम्।
Very good. Okay. Sachimadaji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Srimannama Prochya Narayanakyam Kena Prapur Vanchidam Papinopi Hanah Purvam Vakpravartana Tasmims Tena Praptam Garbhavasadi Dukkham.
Good. Prince Prabhu, translation please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam. Translation: what person, even if most sinful, has ever said aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill his desires? But we, alas, never used our power of speech in that way, and so we had to suffer such miseries as living in a womb.
Very good. What person, even if most sinful, has ever said aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill the desires? But we, alas, never used our power of speech in that way, and so we had to suffer such miseries as living in a womb. So, Kulashekar Alvar is putting himself in a very, very lowly position. Okay? What he says, but we, alas, never used our power of speech in that way. How? Even if sinful, if people utter the name of Narayana, their desires will be fulfilled, even if most sinful. But here, what Kulashekar Alvar is, we means we, including all of us, he also. So he is putting himself in a very low position, like us. He is not one among us. He is a pure bhakta, he is a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality. But he includes himself as so lowly that he, along with us, is not using the power of speech in that way. Not using the power of speech to utter or to glorify the holy name of Lord Krishna. That is the reason that we had to suffer the miseries as living in a womb. Okay. So this verse brings to mind the story of Ajamila from Srimad Bhagavatam. Ajamila was sinful, but by chanting the name Narayana, when on the verge of death, he fulfilled his ultimate desires. In the following quotation from Bhagavatam 6.2.13, Lord Vishnu's servants explained to the servants of Yamaraja, the Lord of Death, why Ajamila is not a fit candidate for punishment. We know the story of Ajamila. Ajamila, although he was a pious devotee, okay, during the initial time of his life, initial days of his life, later he got into the trap of some prostitute and he was leading a sinful life. But however, because he's coincidentally or by the blessings of Krishna or by the will of providence, he had kept the last son's name as Narayana. And he was calling him at the time of leaving his body because he was in excruciating pain. So there was nobody to help him. So he loudly called his son Narayana. But as we all know, the name Narayana is identical with the Supreme Lord Narayana. So Lord Narayana sent his Vishnudutas, his representatives, to relieve Ajamila from the rope of Yamaraja's Kinkaras, Yamadudas. Okay. So even at the time of death, although he did not call Lord Narayana, but his son Narayana, his desires were fulfilled, even though so sinful. So it is a lesson for all of us. So even unknowingly also, if you call out, jokingly or unknowingly or in a musical entertainment manner, or ignorantly, if he called the name of Narayana or Krishna or Vishnu, what benefit we will get? We know from this episode of Ajamila. It's not necessary that we should have faith. So just in the Nama Bhasa, okay, Nama Bharat, Nama Bhas, Yuddhana. So even in Nama Bhasa, we call, just for, musical entertainment. Just, okay, this Hare Krishnas, they don't have any job. So since we are saying Hare Krishna, so Krishna's name is there. Okay. He will give us some spiritual credit for that. And we are getting some sukriti because we are uttering the name of Lord Krishna. So even unknowingly or ignorantly or in a mocking or teasing or taunting manner, if we utter the name of Lord Vishnu or Narayana or Krishna, we're definitely getting some spiritual benefit. So that's what here it says. What 6.2.13 says? Adhainam mapanayata Kritaseshaga nishkadam yadasau bhagavan nama mriyamana samagrahit. At the time of death, this Ajamila helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narayana. Chanting alone has already freed him from the reactions of sinful life. Therefore, O servants of Yamaraja, do not try to take him to your master for punishment in the hellish conditions. Okay. So who is telling this? Vishnududas. Vishnududas is telling to Yamadudas, because both of them appeared there. Okay. Both of them appeared when he left the body. So first, who came? The Yamadudas, and tied him with the rope, Yamapasha. And immediately, who came? For who? Vishnududas. Why for? Acharya says, na, ra, ya, na. Okay. As for words. So for Vishnududas came. So they had a tough fight, argument, verbal argument. Who is the rightful owner of this soul? So there was a tough argument, quoting from scriptures. So Yamadudas is telling, Master, when somebody leaves the body, it is the soul is the property of the Yamaraja. The soul will be taken to the Yamaloka for judgment. Then only, they will go to the respective destination. So we have the right, because why? He has done a lot of sinful activities. So it is our rightful claim to take him to Yamaraja's court. But then Vishnududas argued, no. Krishna says, Anda kalecha mam eva smaran muktva kalaivaram yat prayatasi madbhavam yati nastatra samshe. So whoever remembers me at the time of leaving his body, he will definitely come back to me. So how can we let go of this soul, this Atma? We cannot live. Because otherwise, his Bhagavad Gita will be wrong, isn't it? His assurance that the soul who leaves the body, at the time of leaving the body, whoever remembers him will be taken care of by the Supreme Lord. They will be sent back home, back to Godhead. So if that doesn't happen, his promise will be in vain. So we will not allow that. So it is our rightful claim that we have to save this soul from going to Yamaraja's court. So this was the argument, and at the end of the argument, who won the case? Vishnududas. So they released from the Yamapashas this soul and relieved him, and he took the advantage of this and went to Haridwar and did devotional service for 12 years. That means he got a second chance, because he was not pure. He was not 100% pure. Because he chanted the name of Narayana, he got a second chance. Okay, although he is not pure. So after that, 12 years he did pure devotional service, and he got the qualification of going back home, back to Godhead. So this is what Kulasekara Alvar is telling. Who on earth, even if so sinful, will not utter the name of Narayana, because simply by uttering the name of Narayana or Krishna, they can fulfill all the desires. So that's what. So, but unfortunately, we will not even take the name of Narayana, even if instructed to us, even if we are getting so much of benefit. And that is the reason that we are suffering this material world, all the miseries. So the Vishnudutas, who are superior authorities, gave orders to the Yamadutas, who did not know that Ajamala was no longer subject to tribulations in hellish life for his past sins. Although he had chanted the holy name Narayana to indicate his son, the holy name is so transcendently powerful that he was automatically freed because he had chanted the holy name while dying ante Narayana Smriti, as Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita. Yesham tu antakatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhadavrata. What he says, person who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Unless one is freed from all sinful reaction, one cannot be promoted to the platform of devoted service. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita 8.5, it is stated, Anda kalecha mam eva smaran muktva kalaivaram yat prayatasi madbhavam yati nasresa samsya. If one remembers Narayana at the time of death, one is certainly eligible to return immediately home back to Godhead. So it's very clearly mentioned that whoever remembers Smaranam, one of the limbs of 9 types of devotional service, okay, Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So especially all our activities of Shravanam, Kirtanam is to remember. That means for Smaran at the time of leaving the bed. So the whole life we are preparing so that we remember him at the time of leaving the body, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. Okay. So Ajamila, although he was very sinful towards the end of his life, but he had a very good past also, isn't it? He had a very good past, was a very good Brahmana, but unfortunately he got entangled in the prostitute, and he had so many children in that prostitute, and the last child whom he had kept the name as Narayana by the will of the providence. Okay, that was also a blessing of one sage who went by his house when he was born, that boy was born. So he advised him, keep the name as Narayana. So that is also the Lord's arrangement only. Okay. Although he will not call out the Lord Narayana because he was totally busy in his sense gratification. He wanted to fulfill his desires, sense desires. So definitely he will not run because he had a good past. Every saint has a past, every dacoit has a future. It is said. Okay? Every saint has a past, every dacoit has a future. Why? We know many saints who had some not very good past, and we know very sinful personalities, okay, who became acharyas. Can you mention few? Both cases.
Ratnakar.
Ratnagar, yes, very well. Who was he? Dacoit, right? He became who?
Maharishi Valmiki.
Valmiki, yes. Then Mrigari, right? Mrigari, he was a hunter and he used to enjoy half killing the animals. He used to enjoy half killing the animals, right? He became a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. And the other case, Anybody? And that the prostitute who came to allure Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur.
Yes. She also became a pure devotee. Isn't it? And there are many who fell down also. Okay? They were very nice. They fell down from that devotional plane. Anybody?
Jada Bharat, bro. He fell down.
Jada Bharat did not do any sinful activities, although he is a devotee only. Only thing is because he got attached.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ajamila Prabhuji, now we saw Ajamila.
What is that?
Ajamila.
Ajamila, definitely. Ajamila was a good, he fell victim of prostitute. Even our Vishwamitra Muni, he fell victim of a prostitute, means Apsaras. When in the society, she's a society girl in the heavenly planet only, isn't it? Because so many years of tapas, just a fraction of a second, he lost everything, isn't it? Then again, these are all tapobhala, they have to again acquire. Shaubari Muni, he went for meditation. How many thousands and thousands, I don't know how many thousands of years, he was meditating underwater. Just because he saw the fishes mating, he also lost and he wanted to have sense enjoyment. He married 50 daughters of Mandata. Okay, so he also fell from, he was a good, he was devotee, he was doing tapas for self-realization, for liberation, but then he also fell. So every person, every saintly personality had a past. Every dacoit has a future also. So we cannot write off anybody for that matter. Every one of us, to some extent, we have done something good, we have done bad also. Nobody is 100% perfect. But only the person who understands that, okay, whatever we have done in the past, now we should not repeat it. Now, since that we have now come to the real understanding that sinful activities will take us to the hellish condition, to the hellish life. So we should stop all the sinful activities and dovetail all our talents, skills, capabilities to serve the Supreme Lord. Because we can say ignorance. Ignorance is not excuse. But we were ignorant. We did not know what was right, what was wrong. Now that we know what is right, what is wrong, we should not repeat our past mistakes. We should not repeat our past mistakes. Enough is enough. Now, because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have crystal clear instruction. What we should do, what we should not do. What are sinful activities? What are pious activities? What are spiritual activities? We have clear instruction. In simple language, yes, made us understand. So we cannot say excuse. No, I didn't know. In all the scriptures, time and again, we are being instructed. These are all sinful activities, forbidden activities. These are all spiritual activities. These are pious activities. So what is the difference between pious activities and spiritual activities?
Pious Shine Punye Marte. Again, we have to come and go.
Yes. Spiritual activities?
They are not good or bad. So it's nullified, Proj.
Okay. So pious activities means we can enjoy more and more. We can enjoy more and more. We get pious credit means we have to be here in this material to enjoy materially. But spiritual activities, it's always, as far as the material plane or material world is concerned, the credit is zero because it goes to the spiritual account of Krishna. We don't have any authority to use that. So Lord Krishna gives us the spiritual credit so that we are allowed to go back home, back to Godhead. Now, so any activity we do, any spiritual activity we do, there is no reaction for that. It's neutral. No good, no bad. But good activity has good result. Bad activity has bad result. So we are supposed to have a balance of both. No sinful activity, no pious activity. It should be zero. The balance sheet should be zero. But spiritual account, you can keep adding how much ever you want. That means spiritual account means activity that pleases Krishna, activities that are favorable for Krishna, activities that in alignment with Krishna's instructions, not for our sense gratification. So when we do spiritual activities, definitely we will not get any reaction, good or bad. So we will be eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. So here, Kulasekara Alvar is telling that yeah, we have to go back. So okay, when we stopped? Punishment, yeah. Yeah. So Ajamala had chanted indirectly, calling out the name of his son, but because he uttered the holy name Narayana, he was saved from hell. He then went on to perfect his Krishna consciousness and returned home back to Godhead. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, it is said that Mahatma Gandhi, we don't know, it is said, it's a hearsay, that he chanted Ram, Ram, Ram at the time of leaving body. Then somebody asked, can we make sure that since he chanted Lord Ram's name, he would have gone back to Godhead? Ganji said no. So how do we understand that? Prabhupada said no. He would have got a second chance because he was not a pure devotee. He had so much of material desires, politics, so much of political, ambitions to fulfill. So he had not become a pure devotee. That's the reason he would not, even if he had chanted Lord Ram's name at the time of, quitting his body, he would not get a chance to go back home, back to order. Rather, he would get a second chance where he can perfect his life, become a pure devotee, then go back home, back to order. Because he had a lot of political ambitions, desires. That is the reason that he would not have gone back home, back to order. Once Prabhupada was asked by devotees, so who is good, me or Gandhi? Just in a lighter mode, he asked. Who do you think is good, me or Gandhi? So the devotees was puzzled what to answer. Devotees will definitely say Prabhupada only. Then he said, yes. See, that time one British person was fanning him with chamara. Other person was fanning him with, peacock, this thing, fan. See, Gandhiji drove away all the Britishers. Okay. And what I did, I used all the Britishers and Americans in my service. Look, both of them are serving me. So on a lighter note, he was joking. Because Prabhupada had a great vision. He did not have the pessimistic view. He had an optimistic view. Everybody is son of or children of Krishna. That was the great vision. But Gandhiji limited Indian, British, American. No. Everybody is children of God. Everybody should get, opportunity to go back home, back to order. That's why he came and started ISKCON from America, isn't it? He did not distinguish between Americans or Indians or Africans or Japanese like that. All are human beings. All are eligible to go back home, back to order, whether it's an Indian or American or European, whoever it is. But Gandhiji restricted to that particular tract of land. This is my country. That is not my country. This is Indian. That's American. No. Srila Prabhupada did not limit that. So, in his view, all are eligible. All are eligible to go back home, back to order, irrespective whether Indian or American or Japanese or Canadian. So that is a great vision, because just like in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Astini Suni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarsan. So a Pandita, learned person, sees with equal vision everyone, irrespective whether it's a Brahmana or a cow or an elephant or a dog or a dog eater. What he sees, the living force within the body, the Atma within the body, not the covering. Covering may change from birth to birth, depending upon their karma and desires. But the soul within is Satchidananda. It's always eternally the same, irrespective of whether the soul is residing in the body of a cow or a lion or an elephant or a Brahmana or a dog eater. So the Pandita is seeing that with equal vision, not the covering. Just like this dress we keep changing every day, isn't it? Similarly, the body, whether it is of a human being or an animal or an aquatic or a tree, it keeps changing according to our design karma. So the Brahman or the Pandita sees that. So that is the equal vision. So if you are pessimistic in our approach, we see, oh, this is Indian, this is American, this is dog, this is fish, this is bird. That is a very pessimistic view. So is Pandita, a learned person, a devotee, sees with equal vision. That's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna. So King Kulashekara speaks on behalf of all those who forgot to chant the holy names. These verses are meant for all of us who are missing the opportunity of achieving perfection through chanting. So it's a reminder for all of us to take up this process of chanting, because only chanting will purify us, cleanse our dirt that we have accumulated from time immemorial. No other, we cannot take a scrub, and clean it. Can we take a scrub and clean our heart? We cannot do that. So the only means to clean our heart is chanting. So, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All our anarthas, kalmashas will be slowly and gradually removed and destroyed. As we, take up this process very sincerely, then it will be slowly and gradually removed. Because it will not be removed just by one chanting, because there's so much of anarthas that we have accumulated from so many births, so many lifetimes. So depending upon how much is our, luggage, that karmic luggage, it depends how fast we can clean that. If we have little, then it will be faster. So much, it takes time. Just like, for example, if the house is closed for so many years, so 10 years, 20 years, after that you come and open, so much of dust will be accumulated. If you close for 2-3 days, it will not be that much, isn't it? Similarly, our so many lifetimes sinful reactions have accumulated, and that is there in the subtle body, in the subtle mind. So that has to be cleansed. Only by taking up the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is easy to get rid of all the anarthas. No other processes will work in this age of Kali. So bitten again, so now another, this thing is given here very nicely here. King Kulashekara speaks on behalf of all those who forgot to chant the holy names. These verses are meant for all of us who are missing the opportunity of achieving perfection through chanting. If we do not call on the Supreme Lord, then we will have to face all kinds of miseries. So if we don't take shelter of the Supreme Lord, we will have to take all sort of miseries, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, and plus 3 bonus. Adhyatmik, Adibaudik, and Adidevik. Okay. Kulashekara mentions the pain of leaving the womb. And he is giving another example, classic example. Lord Kapila provides graphic details of that ordeal in his teachings to his mother Devadi in the 3rd canto, I think 31st chapter, I think. It's a graphic description of the baby in the womb of a mother, how that baby is struggling. It is said that some fortunate souls in the womb of the mother, will be able to remember their past 100 lives. Just imagine, in the womb of the mother, the soul is made to remember by the will of the parents past 100 lives. Then that baby, baby in the womb will pray fervently to Supreme Lord, "Oh Lord, please do not send me to this material world again. I will do whatever you say. I will obey your instruction, but please do not send me out. I don't want to take birth in this material world." Because remembering the past 100 lives, he knows how much miseries that baby, that soul has gone through. So having known that, he is praying like anything that please do not send me to this material world. But unfortunately, the moment the baby takes birth, immediately apohanam covers. What is apohanam? Forgetfulness. Okay? So the baby forgets everything what he or she saw in the womb of the mother about the past life's experiences. Again, the same story starts. That parents take care of the baby. The baby grows under the care of the parents. Then, especially in the material world, there is a lot of competition. Okay. Who is big? Who is small? I want to beat the other person. I want to defeat. I want to be victorious. This and that, lot of competition. We actually forget the real purpose of human life. Then we come to the ground where a lot of competition is there, and everybody wants to beat the other person, defeat the other person, and come on top of the ladder materially. So we simply forget the real purpose of human life. So we again spoil another human birth. We waste another human birth. So this cycle, vicious cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi keeps going. We don't know when we will ultimately understand the real goal of life. Although theoretically we all know now, but when we will be serious to take up the process, so that we make a full stop of this vicious cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. So here, bitten again and again all over the body by the hungry worms in the abdomen itself, child suffers terrible agony. Because of his tenderness, he thus becomes unconscious moment after moment because of the terrible condition. So Kapila Dev is explaining to Mother Devavati that the child in the womb is bitten again and again by the hungry worm worms in the abdomen itself. Okay. What can the baby do? It cannot protest. It cannot defend. It is just like, in a arch life tape, how we are put in a sack and tied. The baby is also staying in that womb like that. It cannot protest. It cannot cry. It cannot ask help from anyone, but suffer. That's it. The hungry worms biting, and plus the child suffers terrible agony. How? Because the mother eats so many foodstuffs that causes so much of infliction to the baby. Okay, that is, whenever the mother eats bitter, pungent foods or food which is too salty, too sour, the body of the child incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. So whatever mother does, it affects the body of the baby also. It affects the baby also. And whatever the mother eats, it is affecting the baby. Whatever the mother sees, whatever the mother hears, whatever activity she does, everything affects the body. So all the five senses the mother is using for a particular activity. So she is feeding through the five different sense organs. So intake, input. She sees many things, she hears many things, she tastes many things, she smells many things, she touches and enjoy many things. Everything affects the baby. Everything we are feeding. Now, these are five different outlets. The mother feeds in different ways: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So everything affects. So ultimately, the consciousness of the mother, the activities of the mother is molding the baby. So one should not say, the mother or father both, oh, why my son or my daughter is like that? So who is the cause? It is because of mother and father only, isn't it? We should not blame why he has become like that or why she has become like that. So the baby is suffering like anything because the mother is eating pungent foods, salty food, sour food, everything. And because of that, the baby has to undergo so much of pains, intolerable pain. People refuse to recognize these facts. And that is one reason they do not take shelter of the holy name. Not only that, the baby is lying in its own urine and stool. Just imagine. It cannot move. Just like a bow, in that shape. Just like that baby is put in a sack and tied tightly. So that baby is staying in the womb of the mother like that. So people refuse to recognize these facts. And that is one reason they do not take shelter of the holy name. Because they don't understand. The general mass of people doesn't understand all these things. That's why they are not taking shelter of the holy name. To take shelter of the holy name, then we can get relief from this pain and suffering. So even if they are reminded of the pains they suffered in the past, they claim that it doesn't matter now because they are free from that pain. So even if we are reminded we had to undergo a lot of miseries, suffering in the past, okay, that's okay, no problem. Past is past. Now I am okay. Then start doing all sinful activities. So again, we have to suffer. We are accumulating more sinful reactions. So this chakra, this cycle keeps going. So, but a person who disregards natural and scriptural law guarantees that he will suffer the same torments he claims to have forgotten. So if we don't take this seriously, the devotional activities or chanting of the holy name of the Lord, then definitely that the same torments will come again on us. Same suffering will come again on us. Srila Prabhupada writes, one who does not take heed of these indications of suffering in human existence is said to be undoubtedly committing suicide. Okay. So Prabhupada says, one who does not take heed of these indications of suffering in human existence is said to be undoubtedly committing suicide. It's a Atmahatya. Atmahatya means Atma is, it can be referred to the soul, it can be referred to the body, it can be referred to the mind also. So the soul cannot be killed, soul cannot be destroyed. But Krishna says we are killer of the soul. Prabhupada says in purport, how can we kill the soul if the soul cannot be destroyed by any means? So what does it mean? Committing suicide. How do you understand that? We are killer of the soul. If you don't take up devotional service, we are, depriving the opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. And instead, we are coming again and again in different species. So from that perspective, we are killer of the soul. The soul actually belongs to the spiritual world, Sachidananda. So we are depriving the soul to come, get back its constitutional position, to get its swarupa. And we are making the soul travel through different species for many, many millions of birth times. So that's why, from that perspective, it's a committing suicide. We are called killers of the soul. So Vaishnava poetry is filled with Vedic truths and can bring the utmost benefit as well as pleasure to the ear and heart. In this single sloka, King Kulasekara has given us a poignant description of our unfortunate predicament with a hint of hope for ultimate salvation. If we can grasp the message of even this one verse and also feel it and act upon it, then we can save ourselves unlimited grief. Simply by understanding the meaning of this verse, we can save ourselves from the repeated cycle of birth and death and from the unlimited grief that we undergo in this material world. So it's a reminder for all of us from King Kulasekara that take up the process of chanting and take up the process of devotional service. There are different limbs of devotional service that we can perform. Any one of them or multiple limbs of them or all of them. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Ambarish Maharaj perfected all of this. Okay? So it may not be possible in the age of Kali for all of us to practice or perfect everything. At least one limb. If you do the first two, the rest will follow. What are the first two? Shravanam, Kirtanam. If we are sincere in doing these two, the rest will automatically come. We don't have to put in special endeavor, specific endeavor. It will come automatically. So that's why it is kept first. Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. That will follow Smaranam and the rest of it. So all of us, is a reminder for all of us from Kulasekara Alvar that we take up this process seriously, even if we may have done some sinful activities in the past or past lives. Everything can be destroyed simply by taking up the process of chanting very seriously. So what we have to do is simply, sincerely chant offenselessly. The rest will automatically come. Rest will automatically come. That is what we have to do. So seriously, sincerely chant our prescribed number of rounds. Krishna will bless us. Krishna will guide us, motivate us, inspire us, and instruct us what to do, what not to do that. and we will get aligned to his instruction. If we take up this first two, Shravanam and Kirtanam. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpada Rubhesya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णवदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। हरे कृष्णा।